So, as someone who has been a lifelong Transformers fan, but never really engaged with the YouTube sphere out of fear of being ultimately redundant, I thought I'd go ahead and do something a little interesting. I remember when the first initial years of the hashtag TFX of 20X came out, and a lot of YouTubers were celebrating, oh, here are the top 13 Transformers I got this year. Here are the top 14 Transformers, top 15. And came to the understandable conclusion that as the years gone on, a lot of people understandably only stuck to their top tens. And seeing only the top tens for a few years as the years had gone on, when the hashtag had originally meant to correlate the number of robots you got to the year that it was prior to the new one, I found myself thinking, well, it is the year 2025. Last year was 2024. I certainly got an awful lot of robots. None of those are which are on this list, mind you. I thought, all right, well, let me get the ones that I thought were my top 24 of the year and go from there. Alrighty, so no fancy editing. I have no script. I will probably be doing a lot of mumbling. Let us get on to our list. At my personal number 24 is Legacy Deluxe Class Gears, a lovely little toy that is just absolutely excellent. I love messing with him. A excellent, tasty little chicken nugget sized package, rivaled only by someone else who's a bit of a spoiler as we go down the list. My only gripe with him is, admittedly, that when he's in vehicle mode, as much as he has a good dense feel in the hand, his wheels curl in a little too easily. You make a fist when you hold them, and they crunch in, and the wheels themselves are very, very thin. I don't have a lot of arbitrary complaints that I'm going to have in this list. He's kind of the only one that I sort of have that with. He's the few he's one of the few silver medalists that I have in this streak of gold that we're going to go on through today. Next on the list at number 23 for my top 24 of the year is Studio Series Concept Art Deluxe Class Sunstreaker. Try saying that 5 times fast. Another lovely little guy at the deluxe class. He has so much going on to him, I think, for me. He's a good feeling in robot mode. His transformation is fun, simple as it may be, and even though I said it a little in a bit of a negative way, that is absolutely not at all a detriment to him. His vehicle mode is just a lovely thing. And yeah, he's just an excellent little prize catch. I'm super happy to have gotten him. He's a lovely little thing, a wonderful little what if we saw him in the movie? What if Bumblebee didn't usurp all the popularity in the Transformers fandom and we got to have someone else that was a yellow sports car? Absolutely excellent. Super happy to have him. He deserves his spot at number 23. At the number 22 spot, probably being a little sappy here, but the Transformers and Jurassic Park collaborative Dilophoton is my favorite half of the set. She was gifted to me by a cousin of mine for Christmas, so she got given to me just before my end date for all the Transformers that I got in the year. And she's absolutely excellent. She reminds me so much of all the toys that I would play whenever I would go to my very same cousin's house. The engineering is so nostalgic for me with all the ball joints. An excellent little simplistic package. She is absolutely excellent, and I love her a lot. Great spot for number 22. At my number 22 spot is Legacy Deluxe Class Chromia. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Absolutely lovely. I loved the Prowl mold, and I think I love it even more in all these excellent blues and popping reds. She is an excellent example of how if we veer away from engineering that looks like this, we can have things that are just so much better for us. We don't need to have every female bot look like a Barbie doll. She doesn't need to come with a 50-pound rucksack. These are angel wings to me, not no 50-pound rucksack that RC is carrying around. The only gripes with her that I'm aware of, and well, not even that I'm aware of because I share them myself, is that she doesn't have any accessories to herself. She just has Prowl's little throwing stars that barely open. Hang on a minute. throwing stars that barely open, and that's about it. I think it would have been really, really cool if we got to see her with her shield and her halberd that she had in the IDW comics. You can't have everything. This package is good enough. I love giving her other people's guns. Unfortunately, she can't really do much in the way of melee because her own kibble betrays her hand space to be able to use any kind of melee weapon. Yeah, absolutely lovely, lovely gal. At my 21 spot is Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Deluxe Class Bumblebee. An excellent representation of a very, I want to say, underrated movie. He's got an excellent transformation. His accessory count is good. His articulation is lovely, and he's just an all in all perfect little package to a very good film that is very underappreciated from 2023 for a figure that I got in 2024. Lovely. At the number 20 spot is Transformers Legacy Voyager class Star Raider Ferric. I love this guy because it is an excuse to talk about the Cyclonus mold in 2024. Because, of course, as I'm sure as with a lot of people, I mean, they got the original Legacy Cyclonus figure probably 2022, 2023. My memory's a bit hazy about when that mold came out. But to get the mold again in different colors with a slightly different face sculpt has been lovely. The colors, while typically a little significantly more diluted in comparison to the Purple Man, the reds pop out so much more because of everything else being a little more typically dull. The Star Raiders are going to get some good representation on this list, and I look forward to getting into them. But as the first one that's part of that team, this man has been absolutely excellent. His transformation is lovely. His articulation, again, lovely. Doing a list like this and having so many modern figures is going to be very difficult because the Hasbro team has everything down to a science at this point. Transformations these days are absolutely excellent, and they have really good articulation, and sculpting is so excellent at a very good, well, at a pretty good price point at that. Yeah, all that to say, Legacy Ferric is absolutely excellent. He's only so low because I already have the mold, and while I'm happy to experience it again, I still have it anyway. So, number 20 spot either way. Beginning the second day of this list, at the number 18 spot, is Core Class Energon Megatron. A lovely representation of the Unicron trilogy, our only representation of the Unicron trilogy in this list, and an Energon toy at that. He has all the marks that the Legacy team has been going for. Good articulation, no, not a lot of gimmicks, but with still good plastic quality. But while it may not be as gimmicky as it once was, it can still do all the things you want it to do. The cannons can the cannons, while not being able to necessarily flip forward, can be moved up and down with a funny little bit of parts forming, which is fine by me. The transformation is good and simple. He reminds me so much of the old Burger King toys, specifically the Cybertron Megatron Burger King toy. Yeah, lovely little thing. Good little bit of Energon representation, which, while we all know Energon, the show wasn't that great, I will stand by the fact that the toys were pretty dang good. Yeah. The 17th spot on the list goes to our first real bit of Bayverse representation in Core Class Mohawk. He is absolutely excellent. I love his alt mode. I love how articulated he is for being such a small little dude. I love his opening jaw at such a small price point. As morbid as it is, I do enjoy that his head comes off and he still has the working jaw, which in a very messed up bit of gimmickry does mimic what happened. In the movie. He lived. What do you? I mean, it's one of those things. He was a Bayverse Decepticon. He lasted 2 seconds before he friggin' died. And you know what? Either way, he still had a lot of personality for those 2 seconds before he bit the dust, alongside with Nitro Zeus. I'm kind of happy that these designs are going to start getting newer renditions because we haven't had renditions of those characters since the movie came out. And with Studio Series, I believe Age of Extinction Optimus Prime already on the horizon, I'm greatly looking forward to seeing how they will be able to do Nitro Zeus and Megatron, even Onslaught, and I'm pretty sure they already did Dreadbot. Either way, this guy is excellent because he is in itself an excellent toy. I love his transformation. His articulation is great, and he to me represents a nice bit of what's to come in the future. Because if nothing else, I really did like the designs and the little bit of personality we saw in those Decepticons for those 5 minutes that they lived before they died. Press F to pay respects because the next character on our list is Reactivate Bumblebee. I, like many others, are aware of the news that Reactivate is never going to happen. It has been canceled for whatever reasons for the myriad of reasons that they are. But I'm very happy that the toys came out when they did because the 2-pack between Bumblebee and Starscream is absolutely excellent. I will say I got the 2-pack between Optimus and Soundwave first, but because I got that so much earlier in the year of 2024, actually very late into 2023, they will not be making it on this list. So the Reactivate representation goes to Bumblebee at the moment. This Bumblebee is so excellent. He is excellently rugged, very Modern Warfare, very Titanfall, very Halo Reach, very 2010s gaming aesthetic in the best way possible. The robot mode is tough. His vehicle mode, while still a bouncy buggy, is also tough. Very militaristically greebled in the best possible way. I just wish he had better weapons than these little SMGs, but even that's fine. I feel like that kind of fits his MO. Um, I'm not sure if I would have played as him in the game. I'm not sure if I would have stuck to my own made up character. We'll never know. But Bumblebee represents a time gone by for something that we were already robbed of. I'm not sure that sentence makes sense. Can you tell that I still never made a script for this because I really don't want to? Anyway, a good spot for a good figure, I think. The number 15 spot goes to the representation of one of the best Transformers movies of all time, Transformers 1, Deluxe Class, I believe it is, Optimus Prime. The movie is mostly the reason why this guy made it on the list, as high up as he did. Because generally speaking, the shoulders that work like this and the vehicle mode that could be better and as well as this little easy bit of parts forming that comes off far too easy for my liking and feels like it can be lost at any given moment, are detriments against this figure that I can't help but shake off. Now, with those detriments out of the way, everything else about this guy is so excellent. Well, I love the axe. I love his articulation despite his funky shoulders. I love the way he transforms, simple but effective as it is. Excellent movie, excellent figure to go along with the movie. If you haven't seen Transformers 1 already, find a way to stream it. Find a way to watch it. It is absolutely excellent. That movie is worth your time, and as is this figure. He's always on shelves. At our number 14 spot is Legacy Animated Motormaster. So excellent. I did get both him and Optimus. This not at the same time, but I got them both during this year. But I just think that the colors are so much more vibrant and pop so much more in this guy compared to what I honestly think when you have the two side by side. So much more compared to the colors between Optimus Prime when you have the two side by side. Optimus is almost dull in comparison to this guy, which is saying a lot because Optimus does look great, but you get the vibrant purples, the truly dark onyx blacks, and the vibrant greens and put it next to Optimus. It's truly night and day. Get it? Absolutely excellent. His vehicle mode is a very excellent rendition, almost better rendition, I think, of a Fist on Wheels. His axe is lovely. I love that the stick can go in and out whenever one so chooses, so he can wield it with both hands, or just keep it to one like a true Viking. Absolutely excellent figure. I love that the only other I love that the dichotomy between this version of the character is, oh well, yeah, he's currently at whatever store you can probably imagine that he's at right now, or the only other way to have gotten him about what 10, 12 years ago was to hope that you went to San Diego Comic-Con, I believe it was. So happy that he's just on shelves now. I'm very much looking forward to him getting the rest of his team, and just an excellent figure all around. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but what do you want me to do? These are my top 24, and I got just a little over 50 guys. Absolutely excellent. At number 13, with yet another representation of the unrelenting force that is the G1 area of the Transformer sphere, is Studio Series Bumblebee. Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. I mean, a lovely, excellent chicken nugget of a thing, just like Gears. He is. It's just one of those things, man. I'm having a hard time saying anything about him because to him, when I try to tell you about him, it's like I'm trying to tell you how French fries taste. They just are. It just is good. It just is excellent in so many objective ways. The only real objective thing probably going against him is that he is this small of a package going for 25 dang dollars. It Ridiculous price point. Don't pay that if you don't have to, especially for how small of a thing it is. But he is really dang good. The For as small as he is, they put so much engineering into him. There is not a part here that doesn't move. His legs, the entirety of his legs, are all not compromised, comprised of a different point of articulation in some capacity, from ankle tilt to knee to swivel. He has it all, and it's crazy how he is almost bare bones, but all the bones are so dense and excellent. He's an absolutely lovely thing. All of him is used for something. There's no wasted space here that is used for fluff. Even his big old tubby chest has some capacity of transformation that goes into it. Marking the official halfway point of the list at number 12 is Legacy Commander Class Motormaster. The action figure itself is as excellent as the rest of them have been. Modern engineering, modern articulation to give an absolutely excellent G1 modern rendition of Motormaster, aka the leader of the Stunticons. He, of course, can do so much more, especially when you get this big hunk of dense plastic into the fray. And that is because it can not just be what is obviously going to be Menasor, but if you take that thing apart with all the modularity that it has, let's just show it off here, going from here to there, oh, there goes the sword, going from here to there, and then from there to here, you can make a pretty decent base out of it. I personally have never messed around with the base. I don't care much for bases, but it is something you can do, and it is something that should not be denied in what is being shown off on the box when you get it. He really is a very good, very excellent package. Could the toy itself be a bit bigger? Admittedly, I think so. That said, well, I think so, but then you remember that again, he has to form Menasor. And this size makes a lot more sense once you have that brought back into your head and into the thought process. I'm very lucky to say that I have all of the components for Menasor, even though I got the rest of the guys in 2023 in comparison to him, who I got just last year. But don't you worry, I'm sure you want to see what that looks like, and we will soon. At the 11th spot on our list, it is Legacy Star Raider Captain Thundertron and his little pet bird badger thing, Night Strike. This is the ultimate encapsulation of what Legacy is going for. Bring back the old figures, but give them modern articulation and make them a little more square in the long run to match with all G1 stuff. Whether or not that is for better or for worse is up to you, and also a case by case basis depending on the figure. In this instance, I think it's absolutely excellent. He may lack the flair of the original toy that had the claws going upwards like that, but I think that is perhaps the only most minor of detriments going against this guy. His head, the new head, because this was part of the 3-pack, Calcitron is up there somewhere, is absolutely excellent in comparison to the classically much smoother, much safer Evergreen design. Excellent transformation, good articulation all around. I love that his lion arms are in his shoulder pads, and I love the figurine that comes with the pack. Nightstrike is an excellent, lovely little thing, and I love that he can turn into a pirate flag. Okay. And I love that he can turn into a pirate flag. An excellent and lovely little package, even if that pack is only being 2/3 represented here. Oh, here we go, baby. We start the official top 10, and having done this list for myself the very first time, doing any kind of YouTube content that wasn't for a school project, I understand why so many YouTubers only do the top 10. Doing the other 14 up to this point has been so fun, but so time consuming. And I get why so many people have opted to just do their top 10s of the year as time has gone by. That said, this has been a lovely little experiment that I've gotten that I'm very happy to say that I have done. Now, all that to say, marking our number 10 figure is Reactivate Starscream. Oh my god. I am so surprised at myself that this is the only representation for Starscream in this list. He's my favorite Transformer of all time. He's my favorite character of all time, I would say. It's just one of those things. Unfortunately, the other our Starscream figures that I've gotten have been mired by something, held down by something. War for Cybertron Starscream looks like he just chugged a keg of Fanta and has been bloated because of it. And Cybertron Starscream, as absolutely excellent as that guy is, I can't help but feel that his lack of shoulder articulation, his lack of shoulder freedom is very objectively hindering. And I am sad about that. But this has been absolutely excellent. A good first contender for the Starscreams that I have been able to get this year. Good articulation, good representation. I love his wingspan. I love his transformation. I love the jet mode. The jet mode is so fierce. All the things I said about Bumblebee just earlier still apply here. So rugged, so 2010s gaming, so Modern Warfare, so Titanfall, so Halo Reachy. I could look at this guy for so long, and I'm so happy that he wound up as the number 10 on my list. At the number 9 spot, for those of us who didn't opt to get the Missing Link Optimus Prime, we chose to get the Missing Link Optimus Prime at home. And you know what? What's at home is genuinely just as good, I think, as what was being given out over there. Yeah, he doesn't have that big, unnecessary trailer. This package is already so excellent. I can only assume he has 2 ion cannons, or ion guns, because one is supposed to be more accurate to the cartoon, maybe one's supposed to be more accurate to the toy. I'm not sure. I didn't really do that little bit of research. The axe that he comes with is absolutely excellent. It remained on my shelves though because I wanted to represent him holding 2 guns because I think that goes hard. He transforms exactly the way you think he does. His articulation is the whole point, of course, and that he excels in. You can get him into dang near any pose you want him to be, and the super simplistic shapes are exactly what helps him to get there. Absolutely lovely figure, absolutely excellent. Very small though. He's the same thing as Bumblebee for a lot of these guys, but still, he's the same thing as Bumblebee, where he's really small for a $25 figure. But honestly, I think I would go out to say that he is worth every penny, even if you get him at full price. I'm very lucky to say that I can get discounts at GameStop quite frequently, but I think I would jump the gun and get this guy at a place that has no kind of discounts and pay the full $25. Absolutely excellent figure, so simple, but in his simplicity is where he truly is a shining light. At our number 8 spot, as a damn good representation for characters that were in video games that actually came out is Studio Series Gamer Edition Transformers War for Cybertron Ratchet. Oh my god, did I not expect this figure to be that great? I saw the initial leaks photos, and I was not at all pleased with this, and I certainly wasn't pleased with the backpack either, as I'm sure many people were. Um, but getting him in hand has absolutely changed my feelings about him. This axe is excellent. The gun that he comes with, the healing, I'm so upset at myself that I didn't learn the name of this gun before I started recording. But the gun he comes with is a good size. He has storage for the spare arm. And the way he inflates like a balloon to transform into just an absolutely excellent vehicle form is nothing short of lovely. This guy is so good that I got the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime just so that he could be an accessory for all the other guys that I got with him. Because I have Cliffjumper, I have Sideswipe, and of course I have him, but I officially can't have the growing War for Cybertron representation without Optimus Prime. War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, to me, as I'm sure many other people feel as well, are games that I so very much want brought back into the gaming sphere as a whole. They are so, I don't want to say underrated anymore. They used to be underrated, but now with so many more people being in the Transformers fan base and so many people with memories of playing those games more than I did. I had no idea how multiplayer worked as a little kid because I was a little dingus. I just played the campaign multiple times a day, multiple times, finished it once, started playing it again. Um, I'm one of the people. I'm one of the people that'll say that, oh, it needs to be brought back because it should. And this is an excellent representation of a figure that never came out at the time that the games were released because, of course, they had figure tie-ins. And with this level of articulation, I am so glad that and then I'm kind of glad that he didn't come out because now we have this version of him. And this version of him would have most likely blown whatever version of him that would have come out 10 years ago out of the water. 13 years ago. Ugh. Yeah, absolutely excellent. Absolutely excellent figure. Once upon a time, when I was a wee little lad, I had 2007 Deluxe Class Jazz, and I loved that figure. I took him with me everywhere. I transformed him every day, several times a day as a little child. But I left him in a bathroom one day, and I never saw him ever again after that, trying to go back to said bathroom. So, all these years later, now that I have a good means of disposable income, I am very glad to say that Revenge of the Fallen Smokescreen has filled in that void excellently. I don't care that he's super duper dumpy. I don't care that looking at it now, his transformation is a little bit awkward. He is just beautiful and excellent and lovely and the man of my dreams. I love him so much. Truly, he is as beautiful as the day I lost him. I'm so happy to have this mold in my possession again. And with such nice colors as well. Beginning the final quarter of our list, starting off our number 6 spots, starting off our top 6 spots incredibly strong. Masterpiece Movie Bone Crusher. I'm not sure if I'm getting this guy in frame because I'm looking at the back of my phone, but he is so excellent. His massive stature is certainly a reason why that is. He likely is as wide as he is tall. His transformation is excellently complex to a point that doesn't become so finicky and just makes one angry to do it. He is so well thought out. His accessories are great. I love the fire that you can be, the flame pieces that you can put on him. I love the alternate head with his gross eye dangling out. I love the alternate fork parts that you can put onto the buffalo form. He is just an excellent package. This is a lovely encapsulation of what high-end Transformers can be. And I'm so happy that he exists. He is a huge favorite of mine. I know I just said that Jazz never left my side, but when I had that deluxe Bone Crusher back in '07 as a little kid, he and Jazz were right here to me. They were at my chest every single day, always getting transformed, always getting played with, always getting messed around with. And I'm so glad to have this representation of my favorite character of that movie, of my favorite Transformer of that movie, even if his screen time could be boiled down to about 2.5 minutes. That does not matter to me. This guy gets to live for 2.5 million years in my mind. He is just excellent. His vehicle mode is nice and wide and has an excellent feeling in his hands. Right now, holding him, as much as it does feel like holding a possum, I don't hate it. He is so excellent. His die-cast parts are well dispersed for a good balance. His gimmicky tail can do anything you want with it, even though of course I'm not doing a good job of representing that. He's just absolutely lovely. I wish I could talk about him in more detail. I probably could, but today is not that day. For now, he just gets this 2 to 3 minutes yapping on, and we'll keep it at that. Absolutely excellent figure. At the number 5 spot, keeping up with the big boy status, Legacy Commander Class Magmatron. Now, I haven't watched the Beast Wars anime that this guy shows up in. I can't even quite recall if he shows up in Beast War Neo or Beast Wars the Second. Genuinely cannot tell you at the moment. I know him from the Beast Wars graphic novel, which I'm very happy to say that I was gifted when I was in the second grade. Has that graphic novel survived since the second grade? No, it has not. But I loved seeing this guy in that graphic novel doing what he does, fighting against Beast Wars Megatron. Just absolutely excellent. And it certainly helps that the toy itself is just damn good. 3 individual alt modes, all of which can be combined into a shaky singular creature. He is just absolutely excellent. The only detriment I hate to say that I have against him is this crappy little blade. Out of the box, the tip came in bent. Putting it into the hilt, it's so shaky. I thought it warranted discussion. His blast effect parts, I'm sure, might make it a much more stable and secure port. I have not bothered to test that out. I really should. But with all that said, he's absolutely excellent. Okay, that is the dog going crazy. With the dogs out and all distractions out of the way, our number 4 spot is Menasor. Oh my god, this this is excellent. This is absolutely lovely. Of the 3 commanders that I have that I got this year, he's easily the tallest of the lot. Even if he didn't have the rest of the Stunticons making him nice and chunkier as he should be. I know there's like this newer version coming out with like slightly more sticker detail. I think ultimately that is redundant to me. I was so happy to track each one of these guys down individually. I have very fond memories with Dragstrip because I got him while I was deployed to Saudi Arabia, and he was the first one. He was the first of the Stunticons that I was able to acquire. Everybody else has been lovely. They're all good. I'm sorry. They're all good figures on their own. You don't necessarily have to go for all of them if you don't want to. Maybe you're a really big drag Dead End fan. I was about to get that name wrong. Maybe you're a really big Dead End fan. Maybe you're a really big Dragstrip fan. Maybe you love Breakdown. I know Breakdown has had a little bit of a cult following ever since Transformers Prime. Maybe you're a Wild Rider fan. Maybe you only wanted Motormaster. All those options are absolutely excellent to go about doing. But to me, there's no way you can only get one member of a combiner team and not at least have the full team, even if you want, whether or not you want to display him as the combiner, which I tend to do, or as the whole team individually. I know there was a little bit of controversy when this guy came out. For instance, Breakdown and Wild Rider aren't in the front. They play his calves. They play Menasor's calves, even though that is G1 accurate. I have more of a beef with the fact that you can't really do a Scramble City here. Dead End is only the left arm and Dragstrip is only the right, and I think that was unnecessary because the way that so is that Dragstrip has two perfectly straight lines for his connection onto the shoulder, and Dead End has what looks like a letter F that's missing its top line, and they mirror each other. So because of that, Dragstrip can only be on the right, and Dead End can only be on the left. And I think that's, like I said, I think it's unnecessary and so silly and so rigid. Let us be able to play with the fact that we have this combiner team. I'm trying to balance them on one hand with this combiner team, and let us be able to have them go all over the place. The only ones you can really do that with are these two, and as we just discussed, you can't really see them in the first place unless he's displayed like this. Past that, I have next to no, well, I have next to no real qualms about the figure itself. He is absolutely excellent. He is so big, he is so chunky, he's so dense. He's absolutely excellent. Now, as I said, I have no qualms with the figure itself, and that is absolutely true. I've said almost everything I can say about him. His gun is great, his sword is great, his articulation is great. It is just a bit unfortunate that you are left with this pylon of plastic. I'm happy that it's got somewhere where all the guns can go, that way they're not cluttering up the figure, but I don't know. It's just kind of ugly, isn't it? A bit of a shame, but you know what? Oh well. Overall, Menasor can do no wrong for me. He's absolutely excellent, and having messed with him and Motormaster and the rest of the Stunticons again, I'm so happy to have him, and he excellently deserves the spot where he's at on the list. Superseded by only 3 others, and to be fair, those 3 others are... Oh, I hesitate to use the word, but I'm not talking about people here. Those other 3 are better for a reason, and we're about to get into that right now. At the number 3 spot, none other than my Christmas gift of this year, Tidal Wave. So excellent, so good. Truly just the epitome of big equals good, and sometimes that is just what you want, and that is just what you need. So chunky, so excellent. I'm more familiar, admittedly, with the Energon version of the character, even though I watched a little bit of the Armada show growing up and was able to see this paint scheme in that cartoon. Either way, looking forward to seeing what the Energon version will look like. I don't know if I'll pick it up, because I've got this guy. But he's excellent. His vehicle modes are excellent. Combining all 3 of them is just lovely. Taking out the smaller bits of him and being able to put them on Legacy Armada Megatron is good fun. That said, I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that he is smaller than Metroplex, smaller than Legacy Metroplex, whom I also own, but did not get in 2024. I got him in 2023. Being just that little bit smaller and yet still asking for the $200 price point is something I can't say I agree with, but as someone who got it for Christmas, essentially for free, I'm very, very glad to own this man. Another absolutely excellent representation of the Unicron trilogy given modern form. He's absolutely excellent, absolutely lovely. I'd get him again in those Energon colors, probably for next Christmas. I'm just saying. Absolutely lovely, absolutely excellent. No notes at all. At my number 2 spot is a figure that I was not going to trust with finding it at the store, with the happenstance of potentially, maybe, hopefully, probably, potentially finding it at a store. I got him for pre-order because I knew he was going to be good, and because a lot of figures of his capacity have been purchased from me right when I was going to get them. Studio Series Ultra Magnus I have not seen at all in my city, and I haven't been able to find him for a good price anywhere online. Studio Series Scourge, I went to a GameStop one day, and after talking to the cashier for about half an hour about Transformers, he bought it from me the next day, or most likely that day. When I went back the next day, the figure was gone. So I've made it a bit of a habit of pre-ordering figures at GameStop now, as an excuse to just get out of my house. And I certainly wasn't not going to do that with Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. And I'm so glad I did, because oh my god, this is MP44 except good, and made so and much smaller. He is absolutely excellent. His transformation is that good kind of complex that you can still memorize, even that you can still memorize once you've done it a few times. His articulation is absolutely excellent. His accessories are good without being redundant. Even though, admittedly, we do have a bit of a hollow trailer, the trailer itself, I must admit, I found myself having fun with it, even if not nearly as much as compared to this guy. His vehicle mode, once being transformed, is a tight, solid, fist on wheels of a thing. And I know I said that earlier about Menasor. I'm sorry, not Menasor, about Animated Motormaster, but to say it about Animated Motormaster is to say it about Animated Optimus Prime. And it is an excellent design philosophy and design feeling for Optimus Prime figures that I really hope is something that designers have in their heads whenever they make a new Optimus Prime. This guy is just absolutely excellent. Just perfect. Truly just perfect. And yet he's at my number 2 spot. Whereas I'm sure for many other people, maybe he's their number 1 on their list. And rightfully so. But why don't we stop beating around the bush, and I'll show you my number 1 of 2024. At my number 1 spot of my top 24 Transformers of the year 2024, it is none other than 2007 Leader Class All-Spark Power Deep Desert Brawl. This is a grail for me. This is a grail that I'm so happy to have been able to have gotten. We all have our grails. We all have those figures that we have no idea if we're ever going to get them, or if they're just going to remain a fantasy in our minds. This guy is among those grails that I honestly have a hard time believing that I still have him. I would have loved to have gotten him as well as the Masterpiece Movie Brawl and have both of those guys be represented in this list. Unfortunately, I never managed to come across a Masterpiece Movie Brawl. Hopefully he gets re-released or something, because it was ridiculous how earlier in the year of 2024, very early in the year of 2024, Bone Crusher, there were several of him, shelf-warming almost, in Target, and I got my own, and then a couple of months later, he was still there, and about a month after that, he was gone. For whatever reason, there were only ever 2 brawls that I saw, Masterpiece Movie Brawls that I saw at Target, and never got them for whatever reason, and by the time that came that I actually wanted to get them, they were gone, and I haven't seen them since. And this guy does more than enough of a good job of filling in that hole just a good bit, you know? He is so good. He is that old school 2007 Bayverse Chug that is just not there. I hate to say it. It's not there with toys these days. Not to say that they're bad. I have all these toys absolutely belong on this list for a reason. They are all absolutely excellent, but that's not what we're doing anymore. This guy is all about the lights and sound action and the spring action gimmicks and all the flicking motion and all the surprises that you get with him. And the light and sound action is just absolutely excellent. But that's not what we're doing anymore. The Studio Series Brawl released is a perfect encapsulation of that as well. But I got that guy years ago. Certainly not in 2024. And to have this and to have that one side by side just goes to show what we're what Hasbro is aiming at for these days. Collector-worthy stuff that is as accurate as possible. And this is just a damn good toy. This is just absolutely excellent. His transformation is chunky and tough and powerful and genuinely earth-shattering-esque stuff. Every movement feels good when you transform him. Clunky, admittedly, he may be. He is just so lovely. And this camo with the popping blues is the version of him that I've always wanted, as opposed to the original regular gray iteration. This figure is just excellent. I'm so happy to own him, so happy to have gotten him and to cherish him and to love him as the little kid me would have played with him to hell and back. Just absolutely excellent, and is for sure my number one pick. As you saw, it was either between him or Studio Series Optimus, and of course Studio Series Optimus has all the excellent trimmings on such a good technical level. Sometimes you just want an old, good, chunky, clickety robot, and that is where this guy comes in. That is where this guy thrives. Absolutely excellent. I'm so happy that anyone who watched this video chose to stay the whole way. If you did so happy that you did. I'm not sure if I'll do my stinkers of the year, and stinkers is such a terrible word. Majority of the figures up here are the ones that didn't make it onto the top 24 list. That is not to say that they are bad. So many of them, almost all of them, are absolutely excellent. There are very few figures that I got this year that I can say, yeah, this sucks. And again, they are few and far in between. I'm not sure if that'll happen. I doubt it will. Maybe if this video does well, I'll do that. But until then, I am so happy to have done my top 24 of 2024. I don't know if I'll do a top 25 of 2025. I don't know if I'll be able to get that. I don't know how I'll be able to get that many figures this year. But if this was possible, anything is really. So, with all that to say, if you watched, thank you so much. If you left a like, thank you so much. Don't subscribe. I am not going to be making this a routine thing. Yeah, thank you so much.